YouTube, what is going on? Theo Bean here, and today we are going over the hard mode boss fight guide for Yuzuru and Hayataro in Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. So this fight can either be really challenging or pretty easy. The winning condition is for this fight is to beat Yuzuru. Regardless of Hayataro being with him, all we have to do is just get Yuzuru's health down to 0 to make this as easy as possible. So starting off, going through it, Yuzuru is essentially going to be spamming light shards as well as ice shards. So accordingly, have your comp set so that you have no weaknesses for either light or for ice. To help combat this, I use Zuchoten, who is blocks light damage, and I use King Frost, who absorbs ice damage. So the best part about this is, if you're not sure, with turn dials, any sort of blocks 2 damage will negate 2 turn presses for somebody, and an absorb will negate all 4. So anytime Yuzuru uses an ice shard, I will completely end their turn. When he uses an light shard, they will lose 2 turn points. So for this fight as well, Hayataro will use an ability that is essentially a taunt. He will use a spell or ability called Witness Me. This will max out his accuracy and evasion rate, as well as act as a taunt so that only you and your party members can attack him. This cannot be dispelled. You cannot get rid of the taunt, even though you can get rid of his accuracy and evasion rate up. So during this point, our first goal here is to essentially get through the first turn. For the start of this boss fight, Yuzuru and Hayataro will be going first. He does seem to open up with an ice shard every single time, so having King Frost will absorb and will automatically go into your turn. At this point, we're going to be excluding Yuzuru's fire weakness. For here, I use Yoko. I just use physical attacks with my Nahabino, and I just essentially use some buffs, debuffs to kind of help prepare for the fight. We just want to get as much chip damage and buffs in as we can, since essentially the next time that Hayataro can go, he will use his Witness Me and will essentially make it so that we cannot attack Yuzuru for the next 2 turns until that buff goes away. After those 2 turns, our goal is to essentially just continue buffing and debuffing the other team, heal as necessary. When I use Yoko, of course, she does have a light weakness. She ended up getting eliminated by Yuzuru, so I ended up replacing her with Tao to just heal when needed, as well as just also, since she does also resist light, but also just continue to buff and debuff accordingly. After those 2 turns are over and we can finally attack Yuzuru again, I essentially use my Magatsu for crit. And this is the point where we want to go into an all-out attack and just nuke him as fast as we can. So essentially after this, if done correctly, you should be able to kill him within 2 turns, I believe. Or sorry, by this second turn that you're going through. I was technically underleveled for this fight. I believe they are level 38 when you fight them, and I was level 36. I still made it through pretty easy with this accordingly. If you don't have too many fire attacks to exploit Yuzuru's weakness, you can always use fire gems. Those are easy to find. As long as you're finding the Memons, you'll get them. Finding them from treasures around the world, etc, etc. Also, if you need to attack Hayataro, his weakness is dark and he absorbs light. So do that accordingly, but I do not recommend attacking him until you get his accuracy and evasion down. If you do fail to essentially debuff and kind of prep in time, Hayataro does have a very strong physical attack called Savage Claws. This is a single target damage, but it will pretty much kill or nearly kill anybody in your team. So plan accordingly for that if needed. That's essentially it, guys. So exploit fire weakness, buff, debuff, and just attack when you can, and try to hold out and play defensively when the taunt for Hayataro is up, and you should see yourself to victory, rest assured. Again, this fight can either be really easy or really hard. Also, if you don't have the necessary teammates to exploit the weaknesses to either block or absorb damage, don't forget you can always change your affinities for the Nahabino accordingly as well. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much. If this helped you out, please leave a like comment, and subscribe down below. It greatly helps me out. That is going to be it, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and deuces. See ya.